Is there nothing that they don't host at Dolan's Warehouse in Limerick? Celtic Championship Wrestling will tomorrow evening be invading Dolan's. The main event seeing Irish star Lycan taking on international wrestler Omen in a no-holds-barred match in a rivalry that's been building up for some time. Here with me now in the studio to talk about the event and this huge rivalry are Lycan, Omen and CCW chairman Lee Cahalane, and you're all very welcome, guys. Now, Lycan, you've been harshly done, I believe, in recent times in your competitions.
Yeah, indeed I have, to be honest. You know, I've always worked as hard as I could have. I'm always the guy, the first one in, the last one out, and I'm always the one that gives it 110%, but seems like Lee Cahalane just has it in against me. He doesn't want me getting that lovely shiny belt. He always has a road stop to throw up in front of me, something to stop me progressing forward. And to be fair, I'll give him his dues. He got one this time, he did. I've known Omen for a while now, and I've battled him up and down this country, and there's no harder man in the country. We've had epic wars that people are still talking about to this day, and sure, I tell you later on tonight, we'll just add another chapter to that book, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a huge battle between you, and you feel that you have won a number of these matches legitimately. Well,
we've always kind of gone back and forth, you know. It's always been 50-50. I suppose tonight maybe is going to be the night to prove who's going to be the toughest man, you know. I mean, now he's sitting across from you right there and you can see him. He's a physical specimen. Yeah, he's absolutely massive.
He's a fairly scary guy, but I believe, and this reminds me a little bit of the joke that was told about J-Lo when she was on the plane and the flight attendant approached her and the personal assistant said, "Oh, don't talk to J-Lo, she doesn't speak." Well, I knew she didn't sing, but this guy doesn't talk. Is that right, Lee?
Well, if I could interject for a moment there, Joe. This man doesn't have to speak because he does his speaking in the ring, and Lycan's going to find that out tonight in Dolan's Warehouse. As you can see, this man is a behemoth. He's a beast, and tonight Lycan's going to be, I suppose, at the bad side of Omen, and he's going to, I suppose, be getting a big-time beating here in Limerick City.
Yeah. Is it true that you have been operating corruptly in terms of Lycan's desire to get his hands on this belt, which people are telling me he has managed legitimately, and you've stopped it every time?
Come on, Lee, be honest now. Be a man.
Well, first of all, I resent that comment because, you know, for so long, you know, everyone is saying, oh, how Lycan deserves to be the CCW champion. Well, the fact of the matter is Lycan isn't the CCW champion. The champion is JC Williams. And you know what? Yeah, sure, I got involved, but that was to save CCW because I don't think that this man... I don't think children should look up to this man, and I certainly don't think that this man should be the face of the company.
Right, but the guy that you are defending and say you want as the face of CCW is known as the Sligo sex bomb.
He sure is, the Sligo sex bomb, JC Williams.
Does he sound like someone that is going to inspire kids?
Yeah, exactly, Lee. Yeah, exactly. You see, now I've been in this business for about 5-6 years now, and I've always worked my butt off to get to where I am. And what happens? What happens when I turn me back for a split second? A paper champion is created, and that's exactly what you created. Nobody in that crowd wanted to see that man walk out with that strap. They wanted to see me walk out with it. Whose name was being sung? Whose name was being sung that entire night, even when it wasn't my own match? My name.
Well, we'll see whose name is going to be sung tonight, like, and when you take on Omen.
Is it true that the referee was knocked out in one of these contests?
Yeah, what happened was the referee, unfortunately, he took a knock, and Lee Cahalane decided to throw on the ref jersey himself and went for a quick 3 count on me. And that's how I lost.
What? This guy got into the ring as the replacement referee.
He had
He's
the
promoter.
The disrespect to every worker that ever stepped foot in that ring to just go and do something like that, like throw on a ref jersey, and all of a sudden you can decide the fate of the match.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
And you did it illegally and illegitimately. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, first of all, I'm the founder of the company, and I did what I thought was best for business.
Rules matter. Rules matter. Look, he's a lovely guy.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, you know what, Lycan, it doesn't really matter if you're a nice guy because nice guys finish last. And as I said, time and time again, you'll find out tonight when you face Omen in that ring.
But I tell you, I'm going to make it a difference tonight. Tonight is going to be the one time when nice guys finish first.
Yeah, but hang on a second now. Didn't you say earlier on that you were looking for a nice guy to be the face of CCW? You've just admitted he's a nice fella. He can obviously fight because he's beaten this Sligo sex bomb chap. And you've been stopping it, jumping into the ring and making decisions as you go along. What's this about?
Yeah, well, first of all, I never said that the Sligo sex bomb was a nice guy. He's a businessman. He's a professional wrestler.
You want him as the face, though, of CCW. That's what you said.
He is an example.
What has this fella ever done, except maybe having a lot of hair, that would stop you wanting him to be the face?
Well, it's very simple, Joe. He doesn't have the image. He's not what I'm looking for.
What's wrong with it?
JC Williams has all the package. He's got the total package.
Do you have a problem with people with beards?
I tell you exactly what it is. And beards are in right now, I heard it anyway. But I tell you exactly what it is. I have so much respect in that back locker room that he's afraid of what will happen. He's afraid of the control that he'll lose if I become the heavyweight champion. And that's exactly the reason.
Right.
The only thing I'm afraid of is that you'll make CCW a farce.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, Lee, is it to do with the fact that, you have a beard, but it's not as impressive as Lycan?
It's not,
is that a big part of it as well?
I don't think that has anything to do with it,
That
Joe.
you're just a bit jealous
it has everything
of
to do with it, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's a big factor. It must be. And this Omen fella, I will admit, he does look fairly frightening, all right. Where did he come from?
Well, this man has wrestled all over the world. He's wrestled in Japan. He's wrestled in America. He's wrestled all on every continent. And, the one thing about Omen is he's one of those guys that you bring into a promotion if you want to get some attention. If you want to get mainstream attention, if you want to get global attention, you bring this guy in. And if you want to teach a guy like the Lone Wolf Lycan a lesson, you put him in a match with Omen and he beats some respect into him.
Does he look like he does now on his passport photo?
He sure does.
Does he?
This is the man.
The hair is phenomenal, and fairly muscly operator. But with all due respect, Lycan, I don't see you having much chance against this bloke tonight.
Oh, I've got a couple of chairs here underneath the ring and we have to take out tonight, I reckon.
A couple of chairs. I think you might need 3 or 4 chairs. Constant beating. But of course, you won't be allowed to do that because it appears that only people that your man here likes are allowed to cheat.
Well, I'm not a brown noser. Everybody knows that about me. I say it as it is.
That's it too, of course. Yeah, you won't suck up to him.
I say it as it is.
Ah, yeah.
It works both ways, Joe. It's no disqualification. Falls count anywhere. Lycan can sure use weapons. But when you look at a man the size of Omen, it's not going to be much use to him, Yeah, well, we've all heard of promoters in various sports over the year, but I think you are the first to actually get into the ring and referee the game yourself to get the outcome that you want. Well, if the referee is knocked out, I'm the closest qualified person to do so I don't see any problem with
Qualified,
it.
you don't know the meaning of the word qualified, would you stop?
It's very rare for promoters to actually know anything about the sport that they're involved in. It's all about the business side of it. So I'm sure you're not really aware of the rules, are you?
I'm 100% aware of the rules. I love professional wrestling. I've been studying this business for years. You don't set up a promotion, a wrestling promotion, without knowing a thing or two about the business. That's for sure.
Yeah, and how can you stand to remain in the CCW when it is clearly so corrupt, so unclean, so dirty?
Because
and
it's
you're
the
a clean
best
cut hero.
wrestling company in the country. That's why.
Well, I tell you, another reason why is because I'm here to prove myself, and no matter what he throws at me, I'm not going away anywhere. I don't give in to people like that. That's not how I live my life. No. I'm going to take every challenge that he has and everything that he could throw at me. I'm going to turn it back up into a ball and throw it back in his face. That's what I'm going to do. And one day I will win that heavyweight belt. And that'd be the day that I get rid of Lee Cahalane.
He'll be gone.
He'll be gone.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll run the operation cleanly yourself.
Well, we'll see where we go. But I reckon he might be too embarrassed after everything that he's had to be putting me through after the last while.
Yeah, well, let's see if you can survive this no-holds-barred match after tonight, Lycan.
Well, we'll see, yeah.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I just wanted to warn you now, Lycan, that this Omen bloke has been giving you very dirty looks throughout this interview.
I can see him.
Just say, I would be very concerned about this. How long will you have to stay in the ring with him?
I don't know. It depends on how quick I can get the job done, I suppose, yeah.
He's probably going to be in the ring for about 30 seconds before he gets knocked out.
Well,
yeah.
I would say...
I'm not you, pal, I'm not you.
Yeah, because he does look as though he may not need Lee Cahalane's corrupt intervention tonight to beat you.
Well, look, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And look at the size of the chap, he's going to fall hard.
He's absolutely enormous. We're going to throw some pictures up on Facebook, and I know this is being videoed as well. You'll see it on YouTube. I'll tell you, rather you than me is all I'd say. Just look at him. Don't be looking at me now. Thanks very much.
Don't be looking at me either. Look at Joe.
No. Look at Lee.
No.
Look at Lee. He's your man anyway. He's going to sort it out for you.
He's got his eye on you, like him.
Why don't you just let it be a clean fight tonight at Dolan's Warehouse, Lee? Why would you intervene on a corrupt basis yet again? Just let it go. Let it roll and see what happens. If you're so confident of the Omen fella from wherever he's from.
I'm not going to be involved in this match. This is one-on-one Omen versus Lycan.
You were the referee in another one.
That was back at CCW Uprising in Cork City a couple of months ago, yeah. But I won't be involved in this contest tonight because I don't have to be involved. Just like Omen doesn't have to speak. You know, he gets all his work done in the ring, and tonight he's going to beat the hell out of Lycan, and he's going to make an example out of him in front of all the Limerick City fans.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'd be slightly concerned about the state you might be in by the end of this evening now. Lycan, you're a good guy and all that, but I don't know, I just don't see it happening here. I mean, your man is fierce.
Sure, Joe, we meet up later on for a couple of pints maybe and we see how I got on, yeah?
Yeah, well...
Don't look him in the eye. Don't look him in the eye.
I'm not looking at him in the eye. But he's looking at me. Look at Lee. Look at Lee. Look at Lee. Look at the corrupt promoter. And see how you get on. Okay, so what time is this getting going this evening then at Dolan's?
Well, it comes down to business. Tonight, the doors open at 7 o'clock. The show starts at 7:30. You can get all the details on Facebook, CelticChampionshipWrestling.com. You can follow us on Twitter as well, at CCWrestling1. But when it all comes down to it, you can get your tickets on the door if you haven't already on entertainment.ie. Also as well, we're going to have a number of wrestlers all over Limerick City today. They'll be giving out some flyers. You can meet some of your favourite wrestlers in the city. But 7:30 tonight, Dolan's Warehouse. Be there to watch Omen make an example out of Lycan.
Has this Omen fella ever eaten anyone? To your knowledge?
Has he ever eaten anyone?
Yeah.
I think he's going to eat the lone wolf tonight.
Yeah, that's this poor Lycan guy. Look, all I can say is I wish you the best. I mean, I'm backing for you. I'm hoping.
Joe will be grand.
You see, even Joe has the same opinion of you.
I am worried.
Even Joe has the same opinion of you.
You beat me up, but that's not much good to you.
You got a hairy guy. Maybe that's the secret. I'll choke him with the hair, you know.
But you have to beat this bloke. Okay. Well, look, thanks for coming in. Omen, I suspect we may be seeing you again. Lee, I suppose like any corrupt individual, you'll hang around in the CCW doing your thing for years to come.
Continuing to make history.
Continue to make money anyway, if not history. If we don't meet again, it was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure meeting you too.
It was a pleasure meeting you. And honestly, my prayers will be with you tonight in the ring at Dolan's Warehouse.
Light a candle for me.
I will. I light a lot of candles for you. Lycan, a pleasure. Omen, a man of very few words indeed. But thanks for joining us. And if you'd just like to leave without doing any damage to the studio, we'd appreciate it. And CCW Chairman Lee Cahalane, I don't really wish you the best in life generally, but it sounds as though you're bringing a great event to Limerick this evening, so I suppose begrudgingly I have to give you credit for that. Thanks a million, guys.